Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a lady I fell in love with last year when I heard the song You Rock My Rodeo. She's originally from Texas, now living in Nashville, and she is so on her way to the top. Please welcome Sarah Beth. Hi, Sarah Beth.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing great. Just hanging out currently in the very, very beautiful, sunny Nashville, Tennessee, and it has been pouring down rain for the past few days. So I'm enjoying the weather and running errands and hanging out outside.
Awesome. Spring's kind of starting here in Canada, but not really. It's a little cold out today. We had snow.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Now, I know that you didn't start out as a child singer like a lot of my artists do. You did it later on in life. You went to Baylor University, you got your degree in entrepreneurship, you went to the Dominican Republic and taught music, and that kind of pushed you, I guess, to realize your dream and go to Nashville and start recording. So basically tell me your story, because it's awesome.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird story. It's very different. I feel like as a kid, we all have dreams. And I really, truly did want to be a singer. I was like, I'm going to be a rock star. But as a kid, I was really, really painfully shy. And it was really hard for me to talk to people, and it was hard for me to kind of get outside my comfort zone. And if you want to be in the music industry, you do have to get outside of your comfort zone, because you have to perform in front of people on stage. And you've got to talk to people, and you have to meet people. And so, the older I got and the shy side of me was not going away, I just kind of let my own self-doubt get in the way, because I would just kind of tell myself, I think that just might be somebody else. And finally, it's the craziest thing. I started waiting tables when I turned 15. Mm-hmm. And that is why I'm now able to talk to people and make conversation. And so that was kind of, that was my upbringing. And then at the same time, though, I still said, I'm not going to be that one in a million that's going to make it in the music industry. So I did. I went to Baylor. I lived in the Dominican Republic for 3 months and taught there. I traveled a lot. And I graduated, though, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I got an entrepreneurship degree, honestly, because it was broad enough that I could do a lot of different things. And I still, like I said, when I went into college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And when I graduated, I still had no idea. And everyone says you'll figure it out, and you never know what that timeline is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And for me, it was in the Dominican Republic. All friends just kept kind of pointing to music. And I got back from the Dominican, and I talked to my mom, and I said, I think I want to try music. And I had very supportive parents. My brother had just gotten drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, and he had followed his dream. He had no plan B. He said he was going to do baseball, and that's what he did. And so I just started to think, it can happen for me. If it happened for him, it could happen for me. And I don't want to look back and think, what if? So that's kind of how I ended up in Nashville.
Wow. Well, that is very cool. Now, you mentioned that he got drafted. He's not playing anymore. But in your song, which we're going to hear later, Running Out of Lipstick, you throw out a nod to the Cardinals, which I thought was really cool.
I do, and that was very intentional.
Yeah, well, that's very good. Yeah, I loved it. Now, you're a lot like me. You're very laid back. You love, just putting on a baseball cap and a t-shirt and jeans, and hanging out with the boys, because that's totally how I am. I'm not a makeup kind of girl. But in your videos, and people, please go to YouTube and watch this lady. You are absolutely gorgeous, and I can't believe you were shy, because you have this personality about you that you can tell that you're just going to go out and grab life and give it all you've got. So that totally comes through in your videos. Now, I know that you were classically trained, and you listened to a lot of Christian rock and light rock growing up with your parents, and you discovered country music when you went to your great-grandmother's, and she had cassettes of Patsy Cline, the one and only, as well as Alan Jackson, and that was it for you. You knew it was going to be country. And
I did.
You played Chattahoochee for at least a third of the trip on that 4-hour drive home. Which I think we've all
Yeah,
done.
my poor grandparents. Like, that's all, like, my poor grandparents are probably, my grandma's probably cursing her mom saying, why did you give her this CD or this cassette? With the cassette, why did you give her this cassette? Like, we don't want to hear this song anymore.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go country, those are two of the greatest artists to go to. Now, you just basically went there and you thought you'd record 3 songs and then that would be it. Because like you say, and I say too, because I have so many independent artists come on my show, there's 100 singers moving to Nashville every day or just popping up all over the world. So getting noticed is really, really hard. But you didn't just record 3 songs and walk away. You're doing great.
I know. It's kind of crazy. I thought I'd be like, okay, check that off the bucket list. Like, I came out here, recorded these 3 songs, and now we're done. But you kind of, like, I caught the fever, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought, I'm kind of good at this. I knew I had a lot to learn, because being classically trained is a totally different animal than singing country music, because in country music, your emotion has to come through, and it has to come through either in the actual, like, instrumentation of the track, and it also has to come through in your voice. Mm-hmm. And I kind of sounded it like I was singing to a metronome, so I was singing right in time, and everything was on the beat, and it just, which is in choral music, that's what you want to do. You have to be in time with the rest of everybody else, and you're singing note to note, and if it says hold it out 4 beats on the whole note, that's what you do. And I had to learn. I took voice lessons here in Nashville, and I kind of call them anti-voice lessons. Like, everything that I had learned, except for proper technique, so no, voice coaches freak out, but, the breathing, the technique is all the same. It's just how you approach words. You don't have perfect vowels. You kind of sing more like you talk in country music, and it's been a process, and it still is. I find myself all the time singing more classically than country.
Well, and
I have to get to myself.
Well, like I said, You Rock My Rodeo was the first song I saw from you, and I have a thing for cowboys, so it was right up my alley, and you have, the confidence you have in that is just amazing, and the premise behind it is funny, watching these, wannabe gods, right? This mechanical bull is hilarious. So I really love the video.
Yes.
Now,
thanks.
You've written with a lot of people, and I know you've written with Gwen Sebastian, and we know her from like Blake Shelton and The Voice, and I absolutely love her. And you say she's a hoot.
She is. She's like if I had to name a list of my top 10 favorite people, she is on that list, because I've never seen her be upset. I've never seen her not vivacious and just so full of life, and so encouraging. Anytime that you're with her, she's just she cares about you, and she doesn't make anything ever about her. She wants to know what you're doing and how you're doing, and she's a great, great, great person to be around.
And that's awesome. And she seems like that. I mean, I don't know her personally, but yeah, she seems that way. And she seems very calm. Like, she always just seems to be in control of herself. Now, you're not a coffee snob, you say, but you do mention coffee a lot. No. And so you started getting in your mailbox all kinds of coffee stuff, like cups and shirts, mugs. And that's when you realized, okay, I'm connecting. I'm actually, somebody likes me out there. And you started really realizing that you had a lot of potential.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, you hope that you're connecting with fans. And a lot of my fan bases come from social media, which is one of the great, great, amazing things about the internet. And, it's hard to, when you don't have a massive, massive budget, like a record label does, for example, and you're going about it independently, you have to find interesting, creative ways to get your music out there to people. And social media has really worked for me, and I post a lot, but I don't just post about music, because, people can go find my music, that's fine, but they also want to get to know you. They want to know what you're about, and I don't want to be like a walking billboard all the time for my music. And so I love coffee, so I post a lot about coffee. I post a lot about my dog, and it's funny because people you realize whenever I went to my P.O. box that first time and there were coffee, like a coffee magnet or something like that, it's people, one, care enough to send somebody that they've never met something in the mail. Like, they spent the time, they saw that, they thought of me, they spent the time, like, that means more than you know.
Yeah.
And the fact that you actually realize they're paying attention to what I'm doing. You know, I'm not just, like, posting this out there in cyberspace and, you know, it's just filling up someone's, like, you know, storage space on the internet, but they're actually paying attention to what I'm doing, and they're connecting with it because they love coffee, or they love dogs,
yeah,
or they like to go on runs, you know, and it's cool when you see those things starting to connect.
And that's awesome. And that's how I found you, was on Twitter. So yes, thank God for social media.
Great place.
Yeah, it is a great place. I found so many great people on that. It's amazing. And thank God for social media. And I know a lot of people are going independent and staying independent because they say they have more freedom and more creativity. But I mean, a record label behind you, obviously, you know, is a good thing as well. You are not signed, are you? Right? You're independent?
I'm not. No, I'm independent, correct.
Okay. So even being independent, you have an amazing fan base. You did a tour in the UK. I have so many UK listeners, it's not even funny, and they were so pumped that you were coming on my show. Now, you have had 2 singles nationally charting for being independent, and that is amazing. That is, I mean, what did that feel like? I couldn't even imagine.
You know, it's amazing, and it's you hope that the music, that it's not just about, you know, someone at a label who's got the leverage saying, play this song. You hope that good songs shine through. And, you know, at the end of the day, it is the music business, and I do understand that has a formula and a format. And it's really exciting when you get recognized and your song gets recognized. Mm-hmm. But then again, I also have people behind the scenes that are working really hard to make that happen. And so it's kind of surreal, and you don't really think of, like, I don't think about it until I'm out at a show and people I look out in the audience and they're singing along with my songs, and then afterwards they're like, oh, you know, the Wolf played you, or the Froggy 99.4 played you. And so it's just a really cool thing to see that person connected with my music and they liked it enough to come out to the show when I was in their area. It's amazing, and it's, you know, it's a partnership between all of us, between me, radio, blogs, podcasts, all that. Any way that your music gets out there and the fans, we're all in this together, just loving music and getting through life.
Exactly. And music definitely helps get through life. Now, like I've mentioned your song, Running Out of Lipstick, and I can say when I first heard the title and I was like, and then I listened to the song and I fell in love, because kissing somebody till you run out of lipstick so it just totally pulled me in. And talking about, you know, earlier when you say you like putting on a cap and, you know, a rock t-shirt and your jeans and your Converse, but every now and then you like pulling out that little black dress and doing the smoky eye and getting noticed. It's just a really, really good song, and I absolutely love it. So I'm not amazed that, you know, you're doing really well. Now, your other song that we are going to be playing is I Want It That Way. Now, it's a Backstreet Boys song, but you do such a wonderful job on it. How did that come about?
It's a really crazy story, and it starts at St. Patrick's Day of 2016. I was recording an EP. My last EP was called Full Speed Ahead, and we had 4 songs, and I really like to have 5 songs on an EP. I don't know what it is about me. Like, I just like 5 songs. And so we were looking for a song, and we had been pitched some songs. I wanted to do a ballad. I had written a bunch of songs. I write a lot of upbeat stuff just because I'm normally in like an upbeat, happy mood, and I love like rocking out at shows, and it's easier to rock out, obviously, to upbeat music. Mm-hmm. But we needed a ballad, and I went out. A friend of mine who actually plays bass with me on the road, he used to play with Billy Currington and was his band leader. His name's Sean. He's amazing, and he has a cover band that is the coolest cover band I've ever seen. Like, they bust out kazoos, they do all these funky mashups. Like, you've got Toto's Africa with a Taylor Swift song, and it's dudes in the band, so it's just amazing. They're creative and awesome, and they're covering boy band stuff. And I looked over, I was with my guitar player, and who also produces my music, and I said, I Wanted That Way would be such a cool cover. Like, would it be weird? Would it be corny? Like, I think it'd be awesome, and I think that we could do a really cool job of it, because I'm a girl. It's been long enough since it was a hit on the radio. We put fiddle and steel on it. And we thought about it for a couple of weeks, and everyone kind of came to the same conclusion that it would be cool to do, and we crossed our fingers that people would like it, and here it is, a single at radio.
Yeah, and it's doing really well. I absolutely love your cover of it. Now, I went to your website. That's how I got your bio. And there's some fun facts about you that I want to share. Everybody that goes to your website probably already knows, but just for my listeners. Now, your real name is Sara Elizabeth Swaggerty, right? Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
But you go by Sarah Beth, SB, Sarah B, or S Swags, which I love. Now, your hometown is Garland, Texas, but I am assuming that it's really small because you say unless you're from Texas, you'll just say that you're from Dallas.
Yeah, it's really close to Dallas. It's a pretty big town. There's probably 400,000 people there.
Okay.
But Dallas has so many suburbs, and the suburbs in Dallas are massive. And I mean, if I just said Garland to someone that was from Canada, from the UK, they're not going to know, but they're going to know exactly where Dallas is. And I'm literally 10 miles from the city line, so it wasn't that far.
Oh, okay. And you're living in...
Basically the same.
Yeah, you're living in Nashville, Tennessee right now, and obviously hotels when you're on the road with your band.
Yeah.
Now,
lots of hotels.
Yeah, I guess. Now, your favorite place to visit is any local coffee shop, no wonder.
Yeah.
And with your Baylor University degree, you said if you weren't doing music, you'd probably be in real estate. And
yes.
I'm really thankful that you're not. I'm thankful that you're in music. Now, you also do something that I do, which I thought was hilarious. You collect camouflage caps.
I do. I love them because I wear them. I'm wearing one right now. So, it's part of my everyday life.
And you have about 15 or 20 of them, and your friends are constantly trying to find new ones for you, which I think is amazing because, yeah, I collect them. I collect actually anything that's camouflage. And the funny part about it, when I read that, my granddaughter started doing the same thing I did because she saw me wearing them. So she figured, hey, I want to be like that. So she's wearing camouflage.
I love it.
Yeah. So when I read that, yeah, no kidding. Now, let's see. Your favorite sport. You come from a sports loving family. Obviously, your brother, played pro baseball for the St. Louis Cardinals. Your dad was also a high school basketball coach. But you said that you were much better at watching sports than playing them, and you spent a lot of time with your choir.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, the food that you won't eat. This cracked me up. I won't eat cooked carrots, and you won't eat raw carrots.
It's weird. I don't know why. I just don't... It's not that they taste okay. It's not like I'm, opposed to them. Just when I see them, I'm like, ugh. I don't really want to eat that. I don't know what it is, and I'm not a picky eater at all. That's just me.
That was funny. Now, I don't know what the heck, your favorite food. What are combos?
Okay, combos are probably, they're these little, I have to, take a picture of them, and then they would make sense. They're almost like a rolled up, little rolled up, those, the cheese and crackers that they sell at the gas station and, the little six-pack.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like that, but they can be rolled in, a little pretzel, and then there's, a filling inside. It's probably, the most, preservative-filled, unhealthy thing you could put into your body. But they taste really good. So it's, a buttery cracker kind of, crust with, a cheesy filling, or there's one that's, pizza. And then, so there's either the pretzel, covering, or there's the, crackery like breaded covering. I'll send you a picture so you can see.
Okay,
like,
good.
It. And the description will make a lot more sense because I just did a really bad job.
Okay. Now, this really caught my attention. Your most requested song is the national anthem.
Yes, it may have changed, but it's like the national anthem is one of my most requested songs to sing.
And you've sang it what, 4 times now?
I sing it a lot of different places. I actually have got several. I sing it in a lot of sporting events, so professional sporting events across the U.S. I've sung it at NFL games. I've sung it at NHL games, MLB games, like any. Besides, I don't think I've done professional soccer yet, but I've done just about any sort of game, and I've done a lot of baseball, which I love because I love baseball and it's cool. I get to see a bunch of my brother's friends a lot of times that are playing. But yeah, I mean, everywhere from like I've done the Nashville Predators, I've done the Houston Texans football team, I've done the Seattle Mariners, the LA Dodgers. So I mean, it's not just in Nashville; it's literally across the country.
Well, that's awesome, and I mean the exposure is fantastic. Now,
it is. It's so
one of the things I noticed about you is you bring kind of a little bit of a different style to country music. You're a lot more edgier. And I absolutely love that. And it's not cookie cutter. Where does that come from? Is that just you because you're so upbeat and you like rocking out?
I'm not sure because my style used to be very, and I still am like girly. Like I'm super, like I love putting on like a cute little sundress or whatever. But I'm pretty laid back. One of my friends over Christmas actually, like all my friends back in Texas are all very professional and they're amazing and like just rocking at all of their jobs, and some of them work in government for senators, and I mean they're just crazy amazing. And one of my friends, because I was wearing ripped skinny jeans and a t-shirt and a Love Your Melon beanie, and one of them was like, "Well, I guess you're now our emo friend." I think it's like, and like, they said it in the nicest way possible, but it's almost like Nashville, the Nashville style is just different than what I used to have, and it's my style has evolved. And I actually worked with a stylist, so on all of my video shoots and photo shoots, I've been able to work with an amazing stylist. She works with Kelly Pickler, she works with Rascal Flatts, and she is amazing at getting to know you and then getting clothes that work for what for the image that you want to have. And I can put an outfit together, but she is like 100 times better than me. So I just take basically what she gives me in photo shoots and video shoots and try to copy that whenever I go out and buy clothes and when I get ready for shows and things like that.
That's awesome. It's working. Trust me, it's working.
Well, and it's also, Beyonce has like her character, like Sasha Fierce. Like right now, I'm sitting here in workout pants, a ball hat, and sunglasses, and no makeup. And whenever I put on like jeans and boots and like a leather jacket, that's kind of whenever I'm in country music artist mode. I'm not in, hey, let's I'm always the same person, but there's just like a little bit of that character comes out whenever I put on that outfit.
That's awesome. Well, you can see it come through in your songs. I love all of your songs. Now, if you had any advice to give new artists out there, what would it be?
Gosh, I think the biggest thing that anyone can know is that you don't know it all. And I've just seen so many people come to town and they accept that they're good, and they are good. The problem is that everyone is coming to Nashville and is good. And some opportunities do come to you, but you have to constantly be trying to get better. You have to be looking for opportunities. And I always say, you have to be prepared, you have to be patient, and you have to be persistent. Okay. Because, you need to show up knowing, you need to show up ready. You need to show up knowing that nothing is just going to be handed to you.
That's very good advice. So, because, I know a lot of...
kind of preachy and mom-like. But, I hate seeing people that are like, nothing's happening. And you're like, well, what have you been doing? Just trying to see if you can help them out. And they're like, well, I called this one dude, and he was really going to help me out, but then nothing ever happened. And you're like, well, you can't just call one dude and expect him to do all the legwork, because no one's going to work as hard for you as you will for yourself.
Exactly. And that's very good advice. So if people wanted to buy your songs, I'm sure they can get them iTunes, Spotify, just about anywhere you can download music. Please buy them. Don't pirate them. Buy them. Support the artist.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, what two songs? We've already talked about the two songs we're going to hear. You picked them, so tell me. Yeah, tell me why you wanted those two songs on.
I thought they were different. And now that I love You Rock My Rodeo, that was my last single. I should have sent that one. But General Lipstick has been my highest charting Billboard single to date, and that has been a really cool thing. I absolutely love it. Like we talked about earlier, I wrote that with Glenn Sebastian and Glenn Mitchell, and Glenn just had 3 cuts on Miranda Lambert's ACM Album of the Year, Where These Wings. Like, she is killer. She's amazing. Yeah. And I think that song is very relatable. I think that kind of like what we were talking about, like all of us, the song was born because Glenn and I, as females that are out on the road, we're just talking about how it was so nice. I came in probably in sweatpants and, like, looking like a hot mess. And I was like, I'm sorry, like, this is what today is. And she was like, girl, I get ya. And that's where the song started. It was like, after you're on the road and you have been all dressed up, you like to have a day where you're just completely in your sweatpants. But then you do like dressing up, too. And so that's where the idea was really born, was from us talking about being out on the road and just talking about our sweatpant days. And so, yeah, that's Turning Out a Lipstick. And then I Want It That Way is my brand new single that just went out to radio a couple of weeks ago. And so I'm really excited about it. It's different. Mm-hmm. We did not time it. I know that the Backstreet Boys just did their Florida Georgia Line thing. When we recorded the song, we had no idea that was happening. They were just on the ACM. So the timing was kind of funny because all that just happened. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know all of that was going to happen. So maybe that's a sign that we just had a really great idea at a really great, perfect time.
Exactly. Yeah, it was perfect timing because they did. I mean, and that performance was amazing with Florida Georgia Line. I absolutely, it was awesome. So yeah, very good
and
timing.
The guys dancing.
Yeah, like seeing Florida Georgia Line dancing with the Backstreet Boys was like classic. Tim McGraw just about fell over. It was hilarious. So
I know it was.
Now, I've pointed everybody to YouTube. Your website is also a place where they can go to purchase your music, your merchandise, learn all about you because you're multidimensional, which is awesome. And you're down to earth and you're real. And in this day and age, when you start getting huge, and you are, Sarah Beth, like you have amazing talent, and I can see you being at the ACMs one day. And
one day.
Yeah, one day you're going to be there. And I love that how you interact with your fans and on Twitter and how your bio is. It's just you don't hold anything back. You're not trying to hide anything. And I think that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. And your website will be up on my website so people can find you. I urge everybody to go to YouTube and watch this lady perform. It's just amazing. If I could, hopefully you're going to come to Canada because I know your brother is married a Canadian. Or is engaged to one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's from Calgary. They live in Texas now, but now that they're married, in the last year, I've been to Canada twice. So now we just got to put it a show in Canada.
Yeah, because I'm definitely coming. So, I want to thank you so much for coming on my show. I know you're busy, and I'm so appreciative that you take the time out to come on my show. And we got to learn more about you. My listeners from Canada are going to get to learn more about you. But I'm worldwide, and you have fans in the UK like you wouldn't believe. So they're going to be very happy too.
Yes.
So later on today, you will be up on my website. I will tag you on Twitter. It'll be on Instagram and both my Facebook accounts, Allie's Attic, and then my own personal one. So you're going to get a lot of exposure, and which is awesome. And I'm glad that song was only released like 2 weeks ago. So it's new to a lot of people. It was new to me.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, thank you for joining me. And like I said, we'll see you at the ACMs. And if something huge comes up and you want to come back on and share it with everybody, anytime, you connect with me on Twitter, and I'll bring you back on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, you have a great day.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye. And
All right.
bye-bye.
All right.
And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. And cheers!